The very first episode of Chief of War kicks things off with something you don't see every day: Jason Momoa, nearly naked, wrestling a shark in the ocean. Yes, seriously, if that sounds like your kind of show, you're probably in for a wild ride, because this new Apple TV series leans hard into epic visuals, tribal drama, brutal combat, and showing off Momoa as the ultimate warrior hero. Episode 1 doesn't just set the tone for a grand historical tale. It also introduces us to a world of betrayal, mysticism, and political chaos in pre-unification Hawaii. Visually, the show is stunning. Every shot is soaked in natural beauty: jungle waterfalls, crashing waves, volcanic cliffs, and glowing fire-lit temples. The production design is top-notch, and the scale of the series is genuinely cinematic. But make no mistake, a huge part of episode 1 is dedicated to making Jason Momoa look like the coolest man alive. He stares into the camera like a man possessed, runs in slow motion like he's in an action movie dream sequence, catches spears with style, and fights like a beast. He's heroic, intense, and morally grounded, just what you'd expect from a series trying to position him as the ultimate island warrior. Momoa plays Iana, a former war chief from the island of Maui. At this point in history, Hawaii wasn't yet a unified kingdom. It was made up of 4 different and often warring territories. Iana left his army and king behind and is now living in quiet exile on the island of Kauai. He's settled there with his wife Kupuohi, her sister Hik, and his trusted warrior brothers Namek and Nahi. Iana is trying to live in peace, but his past refuses to leave him alone. As the episode goes on, we learn more about why Iana turned his back on his people. His king, Kahekili, is a violent, power-hungry ruler who only cares about conquest and his own glory. Iana had followed him into too many bloody battles, and when his own father died for Kahekili's ambition, it broke something in him. Tired of endless war and disgusted by the king's selfish ways, Iana walked away from it all. But of course, that peaceful life doesn't last long. Kahekili summons Iana back to Maui for a secret meeting. Iana doesn't want to go, but duty and guilt push him into returning. From there, everything starts spiraling out of control. On his return, Iana first has to reassert his place among the warriors. That includes absolutely demolishing a cocky new top fighter named Nui in front of everyone, because what better way to remind everyone who the real alpha is? It's a brutal but quick fight, and just one of the many times in this episode we're reminded that Iana isn't someone you want to mess with. Then comes the real reason for the summons. Kahekili reveals that according to seers and prophets, Maui is in danger. The neighboring island of Oahu is preparing to attack. While Oahu has a boy, king named Hahana, who seems harmless, the real threat comes from the high priest behind him, a mysterious and manipulative man with dark intentions. According to the prophecy, Iana has a major role to play in what's coming. The seers even mention him by name. Kahekili spins this as destiny. Iana must join the fight to protect not just Maui, but all of Hawaii. Even with that heavy burden, Iana doesn't fully trust Kahekili. Things get more intense when the king takes him to a sacred burial site and shows him how Oahu's high priest desecrated Iana's father's bones. That enrages Iana, but he still wants to be cautious. He later speaks with a mystic woman named Tala, who tells him to take his father's hand, a cryptic message that Iana takes to mean he should pick up his weapon and take action. So Iana agrees to lead a surprise raid on Oahu. The idea is to hit the high priest temple fast and hard, get in and out without killing too many people, and force King Hahana to surrender. Iana wants a clean, symbolic strike, not a bloody conquest. Kahekili agrees to the plan. At least, that's what he says. What follows is the first big action sequence of the show, and it's a lot. Shirtless warriors in loincloths charge through moonlit forests and storm the temple grounds with torches and clubs. The fighting is raw and visceral, with Iana using his signature style, wrapping his weapon around enemy throats and choking them to death in full C mode. Fans of that show will know exactly what I mean. It's violent, chaotic, and filmed in a way that makes everything feel like an ancient war dance. At first, the plan works. The high priest is taken down. Hahana gives up, and it seems like everything might end with minimal bloodshed. But then Kahekili shows his true colors. Instead of holding the line, he lands on the beach with more warriors and immediately starts murdering children. Yes, children. In a truly horrifying twist, Kahekili turns the symbolic strike into a full-blown massacre. He leads his army to the sacred Temple of Refuge, where enemies traditionally go for safety and sanctuary, and burns it to the ground. Everyone there is slaughtered, and in a final betrayal, he has young King Hahana publicly executed. Iana is horrified. He realizes he's been used. His good intentions and sense of duty were twisted by Kahekili to justify a war crime. He wanted to stop future bloodshed, but instead he helped start a bigger one. The rage and heartbreak on his face say it all. Kahekili may have won the day, but he's just created a new enemy in Iana, and you can bet this former war chief won't stay silent for long. The episode ends on this dramatic note. Iana is torn between loyalty and justice, honor and revenge. And we know one thing for sure. Whatever he chooses to do next, Jason Momoa is going to look awesome doing it, with a jaw-dropping opening, powerful performances, and a dramatic setup full of historical weight and personal conflict. Chief of War Episode 1 delivers a strong start to what could be an unforgettable series. It's a story of power, betrayal, and indigenous pride, told through the lens of Hollywood action, and with Jason Momoa leading the charge. Shirtless and shark wrestling included, you can expect things to only get more intense from here.